Hey guys, what's up? GreenMachineSam back with another video, and today I wanted to make my thoughts known truly about the Chicago Bears. It's been 4 days now. It is currently Thursday, and honestly, so the first night, I was going to record something Sunday night. Didn't end up doing it because I was kind of fucked up, because if you guys follow my Twitter, I was actually playing a drinking game called Guess the Offensive Play Calls. Long story short, I guessed a good bit correctly, and so I started getting a little fucked up, and then Monday, I was still a little hungover, had to go to work. Tuesday, wasn't really feeling it. And then Wednesday, I was thinking about doing it, but I wanted to get all my thoughts in order first. So first things first, if you guys didn't watch the Bears, we are 0-1. It's not a very good start to the season. And to be honest, it doesn't look any brighter than last year. It even looks even more dim than last year, to be honest. Last year, I knew we were bad. But it was but we were in a lot of close games, and it was more about talent not just being there. This year we have the talent, I feel like, and it still is bad. And I think that's putting it lightly, to be fair. You know, we have Justin Fields, we have, a decent stable of running backs, the wide receiving room, and Justin Fields had time to mesh. You brought in DJ Moore, all this fun stuff, and the offense just looks piss poor. The play calling, I could tell after the first drive, I automatically knew it was going to be a rough game. And you might be like, why do you mean that? Running a tight end sneak, a tight end motion into a tight end sneak, and then following it up with a quick break in the huddle, or I don't remember if it was a quick break or if it was a no huddle, into a QB sneak when they know it's fucking coming is really ridiculous. Like, Justin Fields is a big dude, right? I think he's 6'3", 225, 228, something like that, right? He is one of the fastest, if not the fastest quarterback in the league. Run a fucking bootleg with him for all I care. Get him in space. What's more dangerous, Justin Fields in space against defenders, or him just going, hey, we're going to fucking just try to dive up the middle? And look, I get it. Our offensive line was pretty good in the power in just running the ball up the field. Well, up the middle last year. But that is not our fucking strong suit. It just isn't. We didn't have Tevin Jenkins there. Why the fuck would we think that a QB and a TE sneak is the correct way to go? Honestly, and this leads into probably the biggest point I'm going to make. The whole coaching staff deserves to be fired. Matt Eberflus not getting his guys fired up. None of the coaching staff getting in the way of some of these guys and saying, hey, fucking get off the bench. Go talk to your teammates. Hey, get this done. Hey, there was no energy on the sideline in an 11-point game at one point. No energy on the sideline, especially on the offensive side of the ball. The play creativity and the play calling was just downright atrocious. It was a run up the middle with some bullshit motion that just didn't need to happen. Then it was normally some type of screen play, and then some type of gadget play that they wanted to run. It was so fucking annoying watching them play and not getting the ball to these playmakers that we had been talking about all fucking season, and just not drawing up plays for them. Darnell Mooney is a fucking good receiver. He might not be a great number 2, but he is at least a good number 3. DJ Moore is a solid number 1 option on a team. Design some fucking plays for him. And if Claypool's going to act like a little bitch on the field, get him off the fucking field. I would rather see Equanimeous St. Brown, who I know is going to give 100%, and I know is going to fucking block, which I know he was inactive on Sunday. But I'd rather see him on the field, knowing that he's not as great of a receiving threat as Claypool, than see fucking Claypool half-ass shit. The effort for a good chunk of these fucking players was piss poor. There was times where defensive backs weren't willing to step up and make a tackle. There was zero effort on special teams. I don't know how many times I saw Travis Homer fucking start jogging. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Get him off the field. Cut his ass if he wants to jog. This is the NFL. There's plenty of people that are speed guys that will be willing to run down on a kickoff and make a tackle. Run down on the punt unit and make a tackle. There's plenty of wide receivers that are willing to block, that are good blockers in the National Football League, that are in free agency, or are bottom rotation guys on other teams that you could easily trade for. And the other notion that has been brought up is just how bad the defense is. The defense isn't playing to their strong suits. They're wanting to play this dumbass coverage. You have guys that are big, strong corners. They're not athletic freaks that can just back off. Play them at the line of fucking scrimmage. You have Jalen Johnson. You have Tyreek Stevenson. You have fucking Kyler Gordon. Play them at the fucking line. I really don't understand how Alan Williams still has a job after having the 32nd ranked defense and coming out and putting up that fucking effort on defense and putting up that scheme together. And Matt Eberflus is proving my point once again that I wanted Brian Daboll, and now it is being proven even more and more each week. Matt Eberflus is not that guy. Alan Williams is not that guy. Luke Getsy is not that guy. None of this coaching staff deserves to fucking be here. And to be honest, after the effort and attitude put in on Sunday, they deserve to be fired. They really do. And when I'm saying this isn't just like an overreaction from a Bears fan or anything like that. This is my God honest opinion. Okay? If you've ever listened to me, I will say this time and time and again. I will never actively root against you as a person, but I can actively root against you as a football player or a football coach. Those motherfuckers deserve to be fired from what they did on Sunday. You are going against the youngest wide receiving core in the National Football League. You are going against the most inexperienced wide receiving core in the National Football League, and you fucking let them throw the ball like we're going against like the mid-2010 fucking Packers. What is that? It's really disgraceful. It really is. And some people on Twitter were bringing up the point of maybe we do need to start having a conversation about Ryan Poles and his strategy so far. And I've been kind of keeping this back because I wanted to see what he would do in this year's draft and in free agency. But I agree. I think we honestly need to start having a question about Ryan Poles. You drafted Velus Jones in the 3rd round. That is unfucking forgivable. You drafted a dude that's old as Roquan Smith in the 3rd round. Roquan Smith was in his 4th year. You drafted a motherfucker that was the same age. This dude is not a good player. If he spent that long getting out of college, I understand he had some injury stuff. If you spent that long in fucking college, you are not a good player. Now you might be like, injuries happen. Okay. Guess who's on the team that is a pretty good player in most Bears fans' eyes? Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson was injured his senior year and was still selected in the 4th round. If you were a good player that gets injured, you will still be selected in the draft. You'll be selected in between the 3rd and the 6th round because you are he's injured, but there is upside to him, right? Velus Jones is not a fucking good player. Why the fuck did you draft him? There's no reason to be on the team. There's no reason to have Velus Jones on the team. I'm being real as can be. No reason he can be on the team. And especially considering that offseason, we let Cordell Patterson walk for no fucking reason. I don't understand what Ryan Poles, focus is. He brought in DeMarcus Walker. He brought in Rasheem Green, who both aren't very great edge rushers. He spent a bunch of money on linebackers, which they played okay, I thought. Defensive tackle still an issue. Nate Davis didn't look great. The all-line just looks fucking pitiful, to say the least. This team is bad. This team has no fucking urgency. The whole coaching staff deserves to be fired. Ryan Poles, I'm looking at you. If you don't fucking make something happen this offseason, you will be gone, my friend. You will be gone, and you will deserve to be gone. You haven't drafted particularly great. You haven't signed amazing free agents to good deals. You just haven't. And I'm tired of Bears fans acting like he is some great guy. Because if Darnell Wright turns out to be what he was on Sunday, and Jalen Carter continues to develop, we're going to look like fucking fools. And if Bryce Young turns into a good quarterback and Justin Fields does not, we are going to look like even bigger dumbasses than ever before. Look, I want Justin Fields to be good. I was super hyped when we drafted him. I was super hyped when we got DJ Moore. I'm like, cool, he's finally going to have some targets. And then we don't fucking play to his strengths. We don't let him go out there and play his game. We're like, we're going to play to our scheme because this is what we want to do because we're old white men. It's getting ridiculous. The Bears cannot be the 32nd fucking defense in the league. You just can't be. If you are a coach of the Chicago Bears, the one thing you cannot do is have a bottom tier defense. If you have a bottom tier defense, you will get fucking fired. It does not matter how bad the offense is as well. You will be fired if you have a bottom tier defense in Chicago. That's the one thing we have going for us as a city, as a team, as an organization, is our defenses are always at least okay. Okay to great. And right now, they look pitiful. They look like they do not fucking want to be there. / the scheme is downright atrocious. Like I said, I don't ever root for a person to lose their job, but as a coach who just doesn't want to change, they deserve to be fired. They really do. And I hate, and looking back on some of the clips that came out this offseason about, when Ryan Poles and Eberflus would sit down and do interviews where they're like, we're looking for dogs, we're looking for dudes that want to compete. None of these fucking dudes look like they wanted to compete after halftime. They legitimately didn't. They looked like they would have rather been at home. The only dude that really showed anything was Roschon Johnson. Roschon Johnson was the only guy that was like, I'm going to fucking play football. Like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to run through 6 dudes if I have to. He's the only fucking guy. Khalil Herbert had some good stuff too. But Khalil Herbert wasn't necessarily running people over. But that's not really his game either. So I'm not going to completely blame that on him. But some of these motherfuckers just didn't look like they wanted to be there. Didn't look like they cared. Anybody that does not want to be there, they need to ship off. Whether it's just cutting them outright or trading them off, I do not care. Get rid of them. If they do not want to be here, I would rather see dudes that just aren't very great at their fucking position than seeing a guy that's slightly better not care. I'd rather see a dude that's going to go out, balls to the wall, fucking every game. They're going to either fucking leave it all on the field or they're going to fucking, die on the field. Now, I'm not saying you have to die, but there's definitely some guys in free agency that are probably wanting an opportunity. And it's annoying as Bears fans. It really, really is. You might be like, well, this is only year 2 of the rebuild. So what? Why does every rebuild have to take 3 to 4 years? Why? You know when the easiest part to win a Super Bowl is in year 3 or 4 of a rookie QB contract, because they are not taking up 25% of the cap space. You can build a team, and this team I'm going to say something that might be controversial. I almost think we have to restart again. I think if we're bad enough this year, you potentially try to sell off Justin Fields if another team is interested. You hopefully draft either Caleb Williams or one of the top QBs, and you say, well, I guess that's it. Then restart. You let Khalil Herbert walk, unfortunately. You let Jalen Johnson and Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool all walk. You let some of these offensive linemen walk, and you say, hey, we're going to restart because that's the only thing we can do at this point. All I'm saying is the effort needs to be there. This is a must-win game against Tampa. There's no question about it. And honestly, I'm not looking forward to it. Somebody asked me at work, at my work, we were doing pick'ems, right? Just pick the winner of each game for the week, and you can win some money, right? I picked Tampa. I did based off of what I saw against Green Bay versus what I saw Tampa do against Minnesota. It's hard not to pick against the Bears. It's really not, and it sucks to do because I want the Bears to be good. Makes my life better if the Bears are good, right? I don't sit there and fucking hate myself for picking the Chicago Bears when I was a little kid. But there's nothing I can do, I wish I could. I wish I could, go there and fire the guys up and hope that they would win games. But as a Bears fan, this does suck. And honestly, I think whoever wants to play for the Bears needs to be starting, and whoever doesn't, I don't give a fuck about their talent level, needs to be gone. I think that's plain and simple. If you don't want to be there, don't be there. Type of that attitude. I think the coaching staff needs to be fired for the most part. I think you could keep Eberflus, but something needs to change about Luke Getsy's play calling. Even Justin Fields and DJ Moore both came out apparently and said hey, the play calling was too conservative. We need to fucking play We need to play our brand of football. We need to play our style of football. We brought in all these guys. We need to play the way we were supposed to be played. And Ryan Poles put together a good team on paper. I think nobody can I don't think anybody can sit there and say, there's not, I don't think 16 better teams on paper than them. But it doesn't matter if you don't put it on the field. Any given Sunday, somebody else can win. And it does suck. It really does suck because a lot of teams at least look like they tried. I think there's only a handful of teams that you could arguably say are in a worse state than the Bears right now, based off of effort and what you saw on Sunday and stuff. I think there's only a handful of teams worse than the Bears, and I don't say that lightly. I really don't. It's gonna be a long season if stuff doesn't improve. Honestly, I still think the McCaskies should sell. I don't think they should be a part of this ownership anymore. I think there's plenty of people out there that would be willing to buy the Bears. It's the third or fourth largest area in terms of teams, I think. But my biggest thing would be like Reinsdorf coming in and trying to buy the Bears. I think that would be even worse. Just based off of how the White Sox and how the Bulls are run, I think that'd be even worse than what we currently have. But with that being said, guys, if you guys enjoy this content or any of the content here on my channel, if you guys want to talk Bears, we can talk down below or anything like that. If you guys want to see more content like this or anything else on my page, there should be some videos popping up here at the end. But with that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.